I was not going to make a video today, but I saw the perfect opportunity to make one, seeing as I'm trying to develop my YouTube channel now, and there has been a comment by there's been a video by MrRepzion and NeonFiona about the N-word, so I thought this was a perfect opportunity to lay in some insight about what I feel and what should be done about the N-word and how it should be treated. So I'm going to begin by saying that saying the N-word, nigger, I believe is okay to say, especially when referring to the etymology or the cultural linguistics of the word nigger. If you're using it as a label or a title for someone, then it is becoming not okay. I'll just begin by saying that. Now, so I'm going to be using the word nigger instead of the N-word so that I don't have to continually censor myself and thus slow down the pace of my talk. But essentially, what I believe about the word is that and the word nigga versus nigger is really, in my opinion, they really are the same. That's the reason there is a difference linguistically is because nigga used to be the way that the word nigger was pronounced among black people who had this sort of accent of a black slang, ebonics, as Repzion pronounced it. So what made it so different and why the word nigga is now sort of evolved into a separate word is because that's how black people used to pronounce the word nigger. And as you know, probably in American history, if you don't, NeonFiona, I'll educate you, black people used to refer to each other as Negroes. Now, the thought of calling someone Negro is almost unthinkable, unless you're racist, of course. But so it's the way they used to do that. They would call themselves Negro or sometimes nigger. But the point of calling each other that was to take the power out of the word nigger. They wanted to make it so that it's so useless now that we can even call we can call each other niggas, so that we can, it can be a term that substitutes the word brother, my nigga, my negro, and it became sort of this word that was that brought together communities as opposed to what it used to do, which was divide, and it used to demean and degrade. So, but what I want to make the understanding is that in general, the word nigger should not be in anyone's vocabulary, whether it be nigga or nigger. I don't care the pronunciation, it really should not be in your vocabulary unless discussing the cultural background or connotation within the word, discussing its etymology or where it came from or within historical context. No one should be calling anyone else nigga or nigger. From that, I should point out that I don't think that a black person should say it or a white person should say it. I don't think that because of my color, it gives me the right to say it to anyone else, black or white. And so I'm not speaking directly to whites or blacks. This is for everyone. When I say this, that is not a word for specific people. Now, what I'm going to talk about now is whether I feel how I will personally respond to it if a black person versus a white person says it. If I hear a black person say it, I won't feel as emotionally upset because I understand what the intention is behind it. But if someone's saying it in a rap video, I understand. I totally understand. But I will still feel a type of aggression, but it won't be as severe because I understand that it was used they're trying to desensitize the word. They're trying to make the word less, have less oomph in it. And but when a white person says it, I will feel my reaction or my response will be a lot different. It's kind of like, I don't know what a parallel for that would be, but what I'm trying to say is that if a white person says it, it's clearly not for any specific reason. Like, a white person doesn't need to take the power out of the word nigger, because they don't have like a continual abuse of the word. It doesn't mean anything specific to them. Whereas a black person, the word nigger has a very, very specific meaning and a very specific, precise intention behind it. And so that's why I have a lot less reaction when a black person says it, a lot less, I have a lot less emotions because of the, because what the word means to a black person versus what it means to a white person. Generally, in slavery times and afterwards, the word nigger was used by white people to demean black people. Now, I don't want people to say that, oh, nigger is just a word that means ignorance. It's a word that means ignorance, but it's not about the definition of the word, it's about the way it was used. So it's about what the word was, what it was intended for, and its intended purpose was for lowering people of equal status down to a lower status, bringing them from a point of humanity down to a lower position. And that's why it's a very charged word. There should be very little excuse to use the word outside of discussing the actual word, the context of the word. Which is why I disagree with Louis C.K. to an extent, where he says that we shouldn't stop saying the word N-word. We should stop saying N-word itself, because everyone thinks nigger in their head when you say N-word. And I disagree with him because he says I believe that the word nigger should continue to be called the N-word unless discussing the etymology or the linguistics of the word, which he gave the example of a newscaster who says the N-word, and I agree. Even though it's probably uncomfortable for them, it's okay to say the word nigger when referring to the word nigger, but when referring to a person, there's just no excuse. There's no excuse to call someone a nigger. There's just no excuse outside of being a racist or someone who thinks that they're morally superior to someone else. There's just no excuse. So that's my intake, and that's how it should be, in my opinion, how the word nigger should be treated. And now I'm going to go back to changing. I'm going to change and back to not saying the word nigger and say N-word. That's how the word N-word should be treated, in my opinion, and that it should be treated upon lightly unless discussing the topic. Unless discussing the topic of the N-word and its history. There should be no use of the word nigga or nigger. That's what it is. And there's always going to be the nigga, according to your definition, Mr. Repzion, given by your link that says it's a substitute for brother. Yes, and the word nigger is technically, the definition is ignorant person. But it's about the connotation and the meaning behind the word and what it was used for and what it did, what it accomplished. So thank you, and brrrah.